Welcome to Drive Business Growth with Email Marketing. I am Dave Meyer with BusyWeb and a speaker with Google's Get Your Business Online program, a part of Grow with Google. We are here today to talk about one of the most important and maligned options in marketing today, and that is email. We'd like to talk to you about how to make the next best steps in your marketing, and in order to take the right steps in order to find customers, keep customers, and save yourself some time. We're going to go through some practical email marketing ideas to solve for each of these challenges. I'm going to import a little bit of my own personal spin as well, because in addition to being a speaker for Google, I've also run BusyWeb for the past 20 years. And over the hundreds of clients that I've had a chance and the delight to work with, we've learned a lot about how to be effective in reaching our clients and helping them automate their marketing and their response using email. Studies show that nurtured leads make 47% larger purchases than non-nurtured leads. This means that sustaining your relationships with existing customers through the delivery of personalized and relevant messages can pay big dividends over time. I believe that one of the easiest ways to create and grow relationships is with email marketing. And why? Because 82% of consumers check their email at least once a day. Email allows you to reach people in a place they visit every day on their phones, and because you're searching for them in a place that they've actually invited you in your inbox, email feels more personal than public forums like social media. It's this personal email nature that makes connecting over email so effective. What do I mean by personalized? Well, there are two ways to think about it. First, think one-to-one messaging. A person should feel like you're talking to them directly, not to an amorphous group of people. I'm sure many of you are familiar with the term email blast. I'd encourage you not to ever think of email marketing as though you're blasting a message out to hundreds or thousands of people. Instead, try to mimic what the conversation would be like if you were face-to-face with your customer whenever possible. A simple shift like this will allow you to create more powerful and effective messages. Second, time and relevance matter. Offers, information, and conversations should all feel timely and relevant to your recipients in order to get the best results. A message with tips on buying your first home doesn't make a lot of sense to someone who's in the process of selling their first home. Nor does a message about puppy supplies give extra help to someone who owns an old cat. You see where I'm going? If your messages miss the mark with time or relevance, you're not going to get great results. Personalized promotional messages receive 27% higher unique click-throughs, which is the name of the game in email marketing. The good news is that when it comes to personalization, you have a huge advantage over big companies. You're often face-to-face with your customers, and you know them personally. Knowing what we know points us toward the big question. How can you use email to get new and repeat business most effectively? That's what I'm here to answer. Today, we're going to cover how to turn website visitors into new contacts, how to automate timely engagement with new contacts, and how to do more business by sending relevant emails. These tips combined will help with all three goals: keeping customers, and finding more time. So let's talk through how to turn website visitors into new contacts. Quick question. Is it easier to reach people when you have their contact information or when you don't? Right? The answer is obvious, but when you have content to market to a potential customer by email, you're able to influence whether or not that lead visits or returns to your website or storefront. Email gives you the ability to reach your customers in a place that they visit every single day. The #1 app on smartphones isn't Facebook, isn't Google, isn't anything other than good old-fashioned email. With the prevalence of mobile technology, you can reach people wherever they are. Today, we're going to focus on how you can increase your email signups to get from your website. How? by using what we call a dynamic sign-up form. And what do we mean by dynamic sign-up forms? Well, typically, when you visit a website, you'll see a static form embedded somewhere on the page. These forms rely on your visitors seeking them out by visiting a specific page where that form lives. To help visualize this, think of a contact page on a website. Many times, contact pages have static forms similar to the one shown here. These forms can be used for a range of purposes, but again, require that the user visits that page where it lives. A dynamic form, on the other hand, is active. It presents itself to your visitor after a specified period of time or when they're about to leave your website. If you visited the BusyWeb website, you'll see an example of a dynamic form in real life. What's exciting about dynamic forms is that they've really increased email signups substantially in comparison to static forms that require you to go out and search them. Now, I know what you're thinking. I hate pop-up forms, right? Well, here's the thing. The intent is not to create a form that's intrusive or one that impairs the user from interacting with your website. Let me give some tips on how to use pop-up forms the right way so that both you and your website visitors have relevant interactions. First tip, when using dynamic forms, you'll want to avoid making them intrusive or distracting. Things to avoid include full screen pop-ups that users are forced to click to continue reading, standalone pop-ups that must be dismissed before users access your content. Some best practices include consider using floating header or footer bars that don't keep you from reading the content and that are easy to dismiss. Other pop-ups or banner ads that take up only a reasonable portion of the screen, 15% or less is recommended. And one of the biggest things you can change is the timing of your forms. For example, instead of displaying a form as soon as a user lands on your page, time your form for when users have read through a blog post or food menu. You may want to do this when they get to the 2/3 mark of an article, for example. Tip 2, don't make it about receiving more email. The last thing you ever want to do is make it about just receiving email. I can't wait to get more email today, said no one ever. That's one reason why users typically close sign-up forms. They're interrupting and they don't provide any value. Instead, you want to focus on providing some specific value with that dynamic form. So what's that mean? Well, focus on what's in it for them. We asked consumers why they subscribe to email lists. This is what they told us: to receive promotions or discounts, to receive exclusive content, or to show support for an organization. So what you want to do is frame how you ask for email addresses by offering something that feels valuable to your intended user. Make sense? Let's look at some examples. Here's a dynamic form from East Lane Cycling. Notice that they're not asking people to join their email list. Instead, they're highlighting what people will get in exchange for their email address, which in this case is 15% off their first purchase. The description goes on to highlight the exclusive access to discounts and resources they'll receive in the future. Maybe something like this makes sense for your business. Let's take a look at another example. Here's a dynamic form for Main Consulting Inc., a great example of a business-to-business business. Notice that they're not just asking people to sign up to get that email. They're asking people to sign up to receive a consultation. The form also lets people know that they'll receive future emails with exclusive content to help them market their business. Is there something you can offer people in exchange for their email address? Perhaps it's an educational ebook, a white paper, an exclusive video, or an invite to an exclusive event. Here's one more example. In this dynamic form from Dog Rescue, it's all about getting a free adoption guide. So they're providing a valuable resource for new contacts to help both the contact and the organization accomplish their goals. As a nonprofit, how would you entice people to give you their email address? These are just a few examples to get you thinking. Really, you can use any of these ideas and adjust them for your needs. When you use a dynamic form in combination with these types of offers, you're not just interrupting your website visitors. You're presenting them with something they will find valuable. As I've mentioned earlier, we've seen these forms increase signups significantly for site visitors. Let's recap. Next, we're going to discuss how to automate timely engagement with your new contacts. Let's imagine a scenario where a business, in this case Barbecue House, has a sign-up sheet at his register for what he calls his sort of monthly email newsletter. And let's say someone decides to subscribe to this sort of monthly email newsletter. Since Barbecue House just sent a newsletter the day before, that sort of monthly ends up being 3 months before that subscriber ever hears from the Barbecue House. After that long of a gap, it's likely that that new subscriber would have forgotten that they even signed up in the first place. Exaggerated example, I know, but the takeaway is that you don't want to miss out on a period of time where the new subscriber is more engaged with your business. If they've clicked, they expect to see something relatively soon. So how to solve for this problem? What I recommend is that you set up a short, automated welcome series to ensure your new contacts hear from you in a timely fashion. Tools like HubSpot or Constant Contact can make this very, very easy. As I mentioned, when someone signs up for your email list, it's a time when the new contact is very engaged with your business. They've asked for it, so give it to them. To do this, I recommend using 2 emails in a welcome series. This is the delivery welcome email. Your new contact should receive this email immediately after they sign up. Its purpose is to fulfill on the offer you entice them to sign up with and to welcome them to your email list. Then you can set up some expectations on what they'll see from you in the future. In this email, you're going to send it immediately. You're going to deliver on that promised offer, and you're going to set expectations for the future email. In this case, enjoy that 15% off, and it's a quick button to shop now. Notice that clear call to action so that people can click to receive their offer. This is your chance to make a great first impression, and it's the first communication a subscriber will receive from you. At this point, your new contact is feeling good about their experience with you, and so around 2 days later, follow up with what I call an invitation to connect. This is the second email in your welcome series. As I mentioned, you can send this email 2 or 3 days after the delivery welcome email. The purpose of the invitation to connect is to let your new contact know the ways they can engage with you. And so, if you have active social media profiles, this is where you can invite them to connect with you there. Why would we want our contacts to connect with us on social? One reason is you'll have more opportunities to stay top of mind with your contacts beyond just the inbox. The other reason is that if your contacts engage with you on social media, that engagement increases your exposure to their connections, who are also likely to make good prospects for your business or organization. Make sense? In addition to your social media channels, you'll also want to provide the other information that they need in order to get in touch with you. This means information like your phone number, email address, physical address if you have a storefront, and relevant store hours. In this case, are you on social media? Go to East Lane Cycling and connect with us here. Notice again, there's a big button at the lower right that says Contact Us to connect up. Here's another example. Here's a business example from Maine Consulting, that B2B that we talked about before. Someone uses their dynamic form on their website to get an offer, in this case, a free consultation. The first email delivers on the offer by allowing the contact to schedule that free consultation, welcomes the new subscriber, and sets expectations on future emails. If this was done with tools like HubSpot, you can actually browse that person's calendar and book an appointment live without ever having to talk to a person. Email 2 invites the contact to connect with them on social media to get the full experience. By connecting on social media, their clients will stay up to date on recent developments in the industry and get marketing tips and tricks. This helps Giraldi Consulting to build their social networks and get more exposure for their business. They also include other contact information so people know how to get in touch with them. Here's one more example. This is our nonprofit Dog Rescue. The dynamic form on their website offered a free dog training ebook when people sign up. You know what happens, right? The first email delivers the asset by providing a clickable button to a PDF of the adoption guide, welcomes the new contact, and lets them know how valuable their support is to the organization while setting expectations for future emails. What does the second email do? It asks the contact to share the love and connect with them on social media. because the more people that like their social pages, the more the word will spread about this organization. And then there's the nonprofit's contact information, along with a button for people to donate. Hopefully you can see how this welcome series will help you start relationships that are incredibly important for any business or nonprofit. Finally, let's discuss how to continue nurturing your leads and relationships by sending relevant emails to your audience. All of your contacts are unique, and they have different needs and interests regarding your business. If you share irrelevant information, it's easy to tune you out and not pay attention. We've also mentioned how important timeliness is when it comes to your marketing. If your contact isn't ready for the information they want to share, it's going to fall on deaf ears. What if I told you you could ensure you're spending timely and relevant emails to the right people at the right time, increasing the effectiveness of your messages? And better still, you can automate most of that process, saving you time. The first thing to do is to find an interested audience within your existing contacts. To do this, we're going to use click segmentation and automation together. What is click segmentation? Click segmentation automatically categorizes your contacts into a list based on a contact's expressed interests and email engagement, or basically what they clicked on in a given email. In this example from East Lane Cycling, people know that they're part of a cycling club, and they end up spending more time inside of those emails or engaging than those who haven't joined the club. So East Lane Cycling sends an email about the club to their general interest list. They send this email with the goal of allowing people who might be interested in that club to self-segment themselves into a cycling club prospect list by clicking on a link to find out more. Once a contact clicks the link, they're taken to a page with more information about the club. Behind the scenes, click segmentation adds these clickers into the cycling club prospect list, which triggers automation to send timely and relevant follow-up information about the club. In this scenario, the contact receives 3 emails total at varying frequency, highlighting an aspect of the club and enticing contacts to join. The first email highlights reasons why they should join the club, giving features and benefits, special discounts, club membership, the ability to hang out with people, etc. The second introduces a unique bit of information, in this case, the club leader and the benefits of learning from an experienced cycling professional. And the third shares some photos from other club members to invoke a sense of urgency. What you've seen here is someone showing an interest and then automatically receiving timely and relevant information. Once you set it up, it continues to work on autopilot, and it's based on when someone clicks the link to get added to the list with automation attached. If someone clicks the link in our original email, gauging interest about the cycling today or next week, they're going to receive the same information based on their timeline. Make sense? Here's another example. Here's an example from those marketing consultants, Maine Consulting Inc. In this case, they first send an email to gauge interest in their website design service. They use click segmentation, so when people click a button to scan my website, they're added to a list called website design prospects in their account. This triggers a 3-email series of automated messages shown here. The series has the same type of setup, just modified for the business and service that they're offering. First email, they give 3 reasons why they should redesign the website. This email includes a link to schedule a consultation, again, where you can book that meeting live with a person without ever talking to a person. In email 2, they highlight the 32 years experience that they have in website design and how they can help their clients be more successful. And then in the third email, they invoke a sense of urgency by sharing a testimonial about the service. Here's another example. Again, our favorite nonprofit, Dog Rescue. They sent an initial email to their broader audience to see who's interested in adopting a lab named Chuck. When people clicked the button, they're taken to an interest form on the website and added to a Chuck Lab adoption list, which then triggers the automated series of emails shown here. In this case, email 1 provides some reasons why people would want to adopt Chuck, and then in 2 emails, or in the second email, they provide a unique aspect about Chuck and the fact that he makes friends easily. In the third and final email, they talked about how fast dogs like Chuck are adopted to entice people to act quickly so they don't miss out. Hopefully at this point you're seeing how something like this can work for your organization. The ideas are endless. So let's recap an overview of everything that we've learned today. First, by following the ideas that we gave you, you'll be able to better retain your existing customers, find new customers, and save yourself precious time. Dynamic forms can increase your signups without being intrusive. They'll help you from having to have people go to your Contact Us form to being proactive. If someone visits a specific page on your site, consider a dynamic form related to the content of that page. For example, on a blog post about web design for our consulting company or for BusyWeb, it would pop up and say, get a free buzz report. Create a welcome series to immediately engage those new contacts. So when someone is already interested in you, you shouldn't let them wait 3 months before they hear from you. When they click connect, you should give them a welcome email and then follow up with a subsequent email and then get them to the point, perhaps in a third email. And then use click segmentation and automation to send relevant, timely content based on what your customer is telling you that they want. Google has partnered with Constant Contact to give you the tools that you need for simple and powerful email marketing. Go to constantcontact.com/Google offer to sign up today for a free 30-day trial. You can also just reply to BusyWeb because BusyWeb is one of Minnesota's top Constant Contact providers, and we can help you get that free trial today. That's what I have today, so thank you so much for joining us. Again, this workshop was brought to you in partnership with Google and Constant Contact, and on behalf of BusyWeb, I'm going to get behind the curtain here a little bit and stop the screen sharing so that you can see me. Again, I'm Dave Meyer with BusyWeb. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. If you have a specific question or would like to talk more, would love to have you get a hold of us. Again, remember, you can just reach out and reply to the email that all of our registrants have seen or that they will see immediately after the event today. Hopefully this bit of tips helped you generate some new buzz, and we'll get you on the next presentation. Be sure to stay informed on us by making sure that you subscribe to our newsletter. And if you go to our website, you'll get a pop-up that shows you via that automated screen. And then hopefully we'll be able to connect with you in the future. Again, I'm Dave Meyer with Google and BusyWeb, thanking you for joining me and reminding you that you can keep generating buzz without getting stung. Talk to you soon.